magic glowing in the dark. Glow, glow, let the colors flow. Patterns of your heart in the aura show. Feel alive as the rhythms tell the story of your light in the bio-well.
Good evening and welcome everyone to this special session which we have called, where we are going to discuss about our latest application for using it for interpretation and also to develop multiple facet reports out of it. So there is plenty of advancement what we have done in the application. So I request all of you to kindly go through this, and at the end you have any doubts, so we will try to clarify the doubts as well. First and foremost, I thank all of you for joining this session with a very short notice, because I'm really tied up with the programmers developing this application. And one of the beautiful good news what I want to give all of you is, see, since long we were waiting for data to be stored in our computer, right? Right now all our data is stored in the cloud. Your whatever reports you do, you have to go online, you have to log in to get your reports. So we are working on a system where you will be able to store all of your interpretations in the computer, in your computer. So you don't need to go online every time to generate a report, right? So your previous reports will be stored in your computer, and it is not just the values, it is the complete interpretation of what we are going to produce, and that is one of the biggest requirements of a big clinic. You will have a flow of patients, and you'll have flow of many people who get the scanning done, and in a period of time your database may increase by 50 to 100. Then it becomes real challenge to get into it. So we are working on our way. Our next update will be having that, and our challenge is too that the files which are getting stored should be retrievable, number one. Point number two, it should be of the minimum size, so you cannot compromise on the size of the file. So we are working on that, and of course we are in the final stages of that. Anyway, till now we have been able to work with the application, complete the application, compile it, deploy it. Today we have I'm thankful to one of the users who brought about Windows Defender error, and we were able to correct it, and it's already uploaded in the website now, so you can download the latest Windows version as well. Anyway, first and foremost, I would like to inform you all that right from beginning this application has two important foundations. Number one, you have to do the scan, and that scan should be done 3 times. This is immediate requirement by a clinician, as we do it in the clinics. It is not for a research purpose, it's for a clinical assessment of the patient. So multiple records are going to give us a very good reproducibility factor in the scan, right? So you have to do 3 scans. Why not 2? Because 2 will give you a proximity of 50%. So that's the reason we have chosen 3. Like, for example, I can give you a simple example for us to understand. If in one scan you have sympathetic dominance and in the other scan you have parasympathetic dominance, which is quite very much possible depending on the psycho-emotional state and the functionality of the human, then how do you assess that? So this becomes fluctuation. So to determine the majority of that, we take the third scan. We find out what happened in the third scan. right? So very important in all the sectors. This is important. So first and foremost, you have to make 3 scans, and you are going to do that 3 scans in the Biovel application. There is no shortcut to this, please, because many people were asking me, is Biovel required? Biovel, without Biovel you cannot get the data. So always remember that 3 scans are compulsory. And when you have these 3 scans, the first stage of our application starts. That is retrieval of data. Right now, it is not possible to retrieve the data out of this system just like you take it from any other softwares. No, because it is stored in the cloud. Every time you open the software or every time you open a new page like this, information goes to the server and the server sends in the details to us, which is displayed like this in your system. So it is not stored in your system. Only few files are stored in the system, which may be there for a short period of time. So number 1 point, you are going to do the scan. Now point number 2, retrieval. There are multiple ways in which you can retrieve. You can take this image and you can retrieve it from the image. You can export the Excel also from this application and retrieve it. But what we found easiest was to take the benefit of the inbuilt console in Biovel, like how we did our dosha programs, where we utilized this console. Similar way, we are going to utilize the console to get the data at the most quickest form. Fraction of second it takes. It takes fraction of second. And remember, we are doing with 3 scans, so it's going to do all the combinations of our formula, all the required necessary calculations which are done in Biovel only. It is not going out of this. So for that purpose, we give you a JavaScript file. JavaScript file doesn't open, okay? It doesn't simply open like any other file. You can see here, it's by .js. It's called as a JavaScript file. What does it do? It has certain formula, it has certain informations which it derives from Biovel. Okay, like this, we give this particular file to every one of you, and it is a customized file. What you're going to get? All that what you're going to do is, once you have this 3 scans selected, you have to come to the console, right? And the easiest way to come to console is to click Control C or Command C in your application. Now you see this particular system is completely blank because there is no script inside. So we have supplied you with the script. All that what you're supposed to do is you have to open the script like this. You can select your license and you can open the script accordingly. So don't worry, you're not going to see anything in this window because the code itself is obfuscated and it is not possible for you to retrieve it. But it has all the necessary formula, all the necessary requirements, what is required for our system to work. So when you have this, you have to run the case. Sorry, I should select my cases. So I cannot select any other case and do. Okay, I just select my case. And then my JavaScript is loaded, and then I simply say run all because we have 3 cases. It's run for 1 case, run all if it is more than 1. So it is 3. So I use run all, and you see immediately within fraction of a second you have some calculations down there in the output box. So all that you are supposed to do is copy all of them. You can see it's like this: right click, select all, right click, copy. That's a secure way of doing it. Right now you have retrieved the data in a structured format. Now what? Now is the second part of the application, which has nothing to do with your Biovel system, right? And it runs independently of Biovel system, wherein I can probably, yeah, that's better. I am using a Mac app, and you can use the browser, you can use the Windows app if you're on Windows system. On Mac system, you can use a Mac app, etc. So that's very easy to use any system you want, you can use them. And the first requirement what is given here is the name of the patient. It is very important for all the further activities to happen. The name is to be given, right? So I give the name. One of the most important parameter is the age, because age is taken into consideration for not only your interpretation but also for diet recommendations given by the application. Age is a factor. And then you can select the sex. Some certain conditions like urinogenital system, they are dependent on sex. Like in male you have prostate, in female you don't have it. Then there are certain conditions in male, certain conditions in female. So sex is very important. Now, majority of us are convenient with English reports, but in case you want your language, like let's say I want Spanish, I want German language, I want Russian. So all that what you're supposed to do is replace this with the language you want. Now remember, all the tables, numbers are going to be in English excepting the interpretation part of it, which is going to get converted into the language what you type. You can have 2 languages, you can have 3 languages, you can have 4 languages. All that what you have to do is you have to insert a comma and say English. We have purposefully not given a select box or a combo box because there are multiple languages which GPT understands. So we don't want to restrict to certain languages. So you can try with your language. If you're satisfied with that, fantastic. Right? For now, we move with English. Right? Then, the most important factor is the consideration of region. That is, if a patient comes to me in Mysore, in India, the software is so designed that it takes the address of your clinic and the whole recommendation of the diet factor is going to be connected with the region. So it is going to take the South Indian diet into consideration by default. Now, for example, if a patient is not from my region, he is from some other region, then what do? Simply you can come here in the diet and regional guidance box, you can type in the region from which the patient is coming. For example, he could be a North Indian, he could be he could be coming from US, he could be coming from Australia, he could be coming from New Zealand, doesn't matter, just type in there. What that's going to do is it's going to guide the application to write the diet chart pertaining to that region. You understand? So there is no requirement of our region diet for that particular patient. So it is to modify the region. So you just have to type whether he's from, let's say he's from Australia, you just type Australia, that's it. But remember, if you are yourself in Australia, you don't need to do that because by default it takes it as Australia. I am in India, so my default is India. In India, I am South India, so South India is my default. So if a person coming from Australia, I have to type in Australia. Simple. For now, I leave it blank. That's the purpose of that. And the most important thing is the data. And this is the data which we copied from our Bible application. So simply paste it. You don't have to do anything. Simply paste it. You can use Control V or Command V in keyboard shortcuts. Right click and paste. Anything will work for you. Now you see we have given the name, age, sex, language, region. If required, you can change it. We have given the data. Now, what do you want? What type of report you want? What type of interpretation are you looking at? Are you looking at a Bible interpretation or are you looking at a Ayurveda interpretation? We have included both of them now. Ayurvedic interpretation will purely be based on Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Bible interpretation is going to be dependent on meridians. It's as simple as that. In Bible interpretation, do you want a patient-friendly interpretation or you want a technical interpretation? What is patient-friendly? The language which the patient can understand. No technical terms will be used in there. Right? Like we don't use sectors. We will not use reproducibility. We will not be using congestion, depletion, These are all technical terms which patient will never understand. So it's a simple patient-friendly language. What the interpretation is going to be. If you come to technical part of it, then it's for the therapist. You know what bioval is. You have undergone the training in bioval. You are a certified practitioner, so you know the technicalities of bioval. So it will talk more in relation with the technicalities like sectors. It will talk about congestion, depletion. It will talk about alignment, asymmetry, right? Plenty of technical terminologies which it's going to use, especially for therapist analysis part of it. Now you see, I am going to take a bioval report. It should be patient friendly and I can generate an interpretation. But there is one more thing which we can consider. For certain of the emotional cases or chronic conditions, we sometimes look into biorhythms. Biorhythms is a very important part, which though not 100% scientific, but it happens. These are waves, these are the frequencies which are generated in our body depending on our days of living on this earth. How many days since you are on this earth? So it calculates based on that. There's a particular calculation for biorhythm. Bioval application has a chart. So here we can calculate the biorhythm, and once the biorhythm is calculated, all your interpretations, all complete part of your diet, complete part of your the protocols are written based on the biorhythms of the patient for that particular day. Means if you have done the scanning today, it will talk about today. For example, if you have done the scanning 2 days back, then it will take the biorhythms of that day when you did the scanning. It's going to take the scan date, not your day when you are preparing the report, right? So the scan date is the valid date for biorhythm to work with the data what you have given. So that is an option. It is, if you want biorhythms, you can just select them, select the biorhythm, and then automatically it will ask for date of birth. Very important. Right now you have given the age. Suppose I click biorhythm, it will ask for date of birth. This is approximate date of birth of the patient depending on the age what you have given. So you will be required to probably give valid actual date of birth of the patient. You can edit it and then you can confirm the date of birth. It is saved. You got it? So if you have the biorhythms enabled, you will have the physical, emotional and intellectual calculations happening, and then that calculations will be taken into consideration while doing the interpretation. Remember, biorhythms are just an influential factor. It's just like a screen. The main interpretation depends on reproducibility. The main interpretation depends on the values what is being extracted from bioval, and the main interpretation depends on the existing symptoms, if any, of the patient. Biorhythm is just like a additional parameter which we can say. So for now I disable this. One more very important factor as a clinical practitioner we say is, suppose, why do a patient come to me? The patient comes to me with some problem, some observation in his body. He may come to me, he may see, he comes and he says that I am not getting sleep since 1 week, right? Or he may say I have a shoulder pain since 2 days, or I have a lower back pain since 3 or 4 days. So I just wanted to look into it. So all that what you are supposed to do is simply type in what the patient says. These symptoms are not diagnosis. It is the findings of the patient. There is a difference. Suppose patient may come and say that I am diabetic patient. You cannot write diabetes here. You may be diabetic 2, diabetic 1, that is not a matter. What is happening to you? That is important. So symptoms means the observation of the patient. Suppose he may say that he is feeling tired, write feeling tired. Simple. Feeling tired. Okay, simple terms, of course. Right? Or you have a headache, you can write a headache, something like this, heaviness in head, but no diagnosis is allowed. You put a diagnosis, the application will simply reject it. Right? We have strictly made a point that no medical terminologies, no medical diagnosis can be inserted into the application. So simply write the symptoms if it is present. Now what is this going to influence? All the bioval parameters what you have received is now with the application, and what the patient is suffering or facing is also with the application. It is going to do a correlation test. Which particular reading of which particular sector is influencing or may influence this particular change in the patient. So there will be a correlation of bioval data with the symptoms, and that will be again influencing the interpretation part of it, right? For now, if you want, we can keep it, otherwise we can simply hide it. Let's do a basic interpretation of bioval with patient friendly part of it. Now remember, this application takes the clipboard into consideration. What do you mean by clipboard? Clipboard means you copy anything in a desktop, whether it is Mac or Windows. You copy anything, it is stored temporarily in a cache file. It's called as a clipboard. Now, when you are working with this application, see to it that you are not working with any other application. Because, for example, I say I generate interpretation. Now, the data is in clipboard, which you cannot see. Okay? You cannot see the data, but the ChatGPT is open. And meanwhile, say for example in WhatsApp you are doing some additional work and something pops up in WhatsApp which is very interesting and you copy that. Now what happened? Your clipboard is replaced by what you have copied just now. So whole interpretation will be blank. When you are working with this, only this application you should concentrate. Now it is in clipboard. All that I am going to do is I am going to paste it in the GPT, right? Now what this GPT is going to do? It is trained to look into this data which I have given. But remember, it is in a very, very structured format, which the GPT understands. And then all that I am going to do is I am going to send it to GPT. So it's going to analyze and give me the report in a structured format. There is a particular format which we have used, and it is that format which it's going to give the report in, because that is required for me to generate a visible, good looking, printable report. Now let's wait. Now this is not going to just give you the values. It is doing the interpretation. It is giving its observations, and because we have used patient friendly, the language is going to be very simple. Like overall scan pattern is stable and falls in green range. No major reproducible energetic disturbance was confirmed. Some functional stress patterns are present around immunity, lower back, kidney bladder energy and environmental adaptation. So results suggest maintenance and preventive wellness support rather than intensive corrective work. So nothing is required because already the final status is in green. Anyway, you get the complete interpretation, right? All that you have to do, click this arrow, you come to bottom of this report, just copy it, copy the response. Now again what I'm doing, I am pulling all this data into the clipboard. Now once you copy, remember you have to come back to the application immediately. Again, don't go to WhatsApp, Facebook, copy something there. What happened? Your total data what you had copied from GPT is erased and something else is sitting. Then when you click the report, it will be blank. So now you have taken it from the your GPT, come back to generate reports, click on generate report. Now it's because it's a bioval application, you have options of sectors, different sections of report you want, you can keep, or you can print all of them, it doesn't matter, but you have this particular selection. You simply say generate, and that's it, your report is generated. Now many people had doubt of how to save this report. Now If you are on a browser, if you are doing it on the web, you can simply right click and print, right? But that right click will not work in desktop. So we have given you a export PDF button. So this export PDF button you click, automatically it's going to take this report into a browser. You see it's open in a browser. Now I can do right click and print. When I say print, it comes to the print dialog there, where depending on your system, you can arrange the borders, whatever it is, it's already well aligned. All that what you're supposed to do is you can save it, right, as a PDF. You can give a printout and you can send it as an email, whatever you want you can do. But remember, this report is completely interpreted. It's not just the values what it's showing, right? So this is how we generate a basic interpretation in our system, right? For example, once I have generated this report, right, if you can see, there are different sections of it, of course. You can go through them. Once you have general diet suggestions, that is always going to pop up with every patient, as I told you, with the regional, age, sex of the individual. So it's going to give you a report like this. Now you see, suppose you want a diet plan. Let's say, okay, this chart is fine, but what, as a therapist, I have to give a diet plan to the patient. Let me say that I have to give him a low calorie food diet plan. Example, how do you do that? So for that, you don't have to touch this anymore. Already you should have saved this. You export and you can save it. Now you see, we had done the interpretation. Now what we have done with the GPT is, we have unlocked the continuous chat function in GPT. Means the GPT has all the information of the patient, and suppose I want to generate a diet plan in additional to what I have, or like some other user had generated essential oils, which essential oils are going to be beneficial for this particular case, like this particular reading in Bible. How do you do that? Simply you continue this chat and type create let's say 7 days low calorie, right, diet plan. Simple, very easy, anybody can type this, right? Now as a therapist, I want this diet plan to be given, and you say give it to GPT. Now what it's going to do is, it has all the values with it. It knows what this patient is, what is the weakness in the patient. Accordingly, you see, 7-day low calorie diet plan, approximately 1400 to 1600 kilocalories per day for a male of 41 years. Focus, weight management, energy support, kidney, bladder, meridian support. Look at that. That information from where it got? It got from the reproducibility factor of bowel. So that's very interesting. And also digestive balance and sustained energy. You have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. Then daily guidance, what it is, what you are supposed to take. Also weekly targets for proteins, walking, stretching, all the details it mentions. Now you see, how are you going to use this data now? How to get a report of this? Because you should, if I have to get a report of these, then again I will have to copy the entire things and do. Not necessary. Come down. You have the copy section here, copy response. Whatever question you have asked, you have a copy response. Click on that, copy response. Come back to the application, and now you see all that what you are going to do is click on generate report, and there you go. You have probably the sectors have to be changed. Anyway, the format will change, nothing to worry. So you will get it in the same report, which you can again export to PDF. Are you able to understand? So you will get it in a beautiful table format. Anyway, we will correct that. But this is how you are going to do it. Similarly, you want for essential oils, you can do it for essential oils. You want for some therapy, right? For example, this patient doesn't require any therapy, but still, if I want to do any therapy, I use the same form. I don't close it. I say, give me protocols for, I am a Guasa therapist, so I say Guasa therapy, right? So if it is required, and which region, that will also be mentioned very clearly, and the formatting will remain the same. It will not change, right? So this patient, though you see it was a green report, but still if you want to do Guasa, look at that. Guasa therapy protocol for 41 years, Grish, yes. So primary focus, lumbar spine, kidney bladder pathway, immune support and stress reduction. This is a fantastic input which we have got from the 3 scans what you have taken. Frequency 2 to 3 sessions per week for 4 weeks. Then reassess means take the Bible again. Duration, pressure, how much to be applied, everything. Protocol 1, lumbar, spine and lower back. What else? You have the whole detail here, including the original report. So it is a continuous generation of reports what you want for whatever factors you want, right? So that's the reason why we have not touched this interface. We have kept it as simple as possible, because you can do majority of it in the GPT. It is programmed to do like that. Okay. Also, if for example you want to change the location now of diet right now it has taken South India, now you want to change the location, you can still do that by clicking here, change the location, again it will take you to GPT, or in the same GPT you can simply say give me the diet for Slovenia, or give me a diet plan for let's say Russia, some country in Russia. According to that you will get the diet plan. It's as simple. But don't close this interface. The moment you close this, for example, I have this, I close this, then the whole thing vanishes now. You understand? Again you will have to start from beginning. Anyway, so that's how we are going to use this application. Second, if you want to do Ayurveda interpretation, you don't need to change anything here. Everything is pre-fed. Simply click on Ayurveda and you say generate interpretation. So it will be generating an interpretation based on Ayurvedic principles with Ayurveda GPT. It's a separate GPT what we have created, and this is just too good for Ayurvedic doctors and those who have not planned for Bible, because you are not able to interpret. This is the way, right? Now you can go in for Bible. I guarantee you that you are going to get the best of data, and of course this will not bypass your training program. Your training programs should be there. You should be a trained, certified Bible practitioner. Otherwise, inner technicalities you will never understand, right? Anyway, you have the report with you. Then now you can take a printout of this, as we have done for Bible. It's done. So copy and you generate a report. You get the Ayurveda report here. There you go. Beautiful Ayurveda report with all graphs. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Immediately you know what is deviated, and the deviation calculation is completely changed from before. So we have done sector wise calculations now, and we say what is primary dosha, secondary dosha, and further to this strong territories, so reproducible territories, which are the functional tendencies. We have got the contributing factors, what can contribute to a daily effect in the patient. Very important is a diet chart. Now in this diet chart, it is in accordance with Ayurveda, accordance with the region, accordance with the age of an individual, and it is going to take the categories are free. We have not fixed the categories. The GPT can decide depending on all these parameters what the categories are going to be, but you get like grains, vegetables, proteins, fruits, daily dairy products, fats, everything is given here. Again you can generate further reference to this by getting into the GPT. So don't close the GPT immediately. You may require something, you can definitely use it, right? And again you can export it will take you to the browser, and automatically you can just right click, print, copy paste, print. You can save it as a PDF, you can print it in your printer. That's all left to you. So you have this beautiful report which is generated. Now in the coming update, what are we doing? All these reports what you are right now doing is vanished. Now once you have exported it into PDF, you will never get back that. For example, next time you put the same data, same parameter, there is a possibility that the GPT wordings may change, though the whole meaning remains the same, but you will not get the exact wordings because GPT is free to use the language. Now what we have done is, in the coming update, probably which is going to get released shortly. Already the desktop version is ready. We are working on the web browser version. You see, every report you generate is saved in the hard disk of the user, not in the server, in your own hard disk. The interpretation will be saved. Even after 10 years, a patient comes and says that you had done a scan some time back, can you please reissue the report? Exactly the same report will be available to be given to the patient. So that update is also ready, it is coming, and I can of course show you that, but just a minute. This is a stable one, a beta application is there, so I can probably close this, right, just for our understanding. Okay, see, look at this. Now this is a beta version, which is not a stable version, of course. So here what we have done, entire thing remains the same, but what is added is what is called as a patient archive. This is something which we were working on. Patient archive means whatever reports you take, that will get stored in the system, in your own system, right? So even if I disconnect the internet, I should be able to retrieve the reports. So it's not just the values which are stored, it's a total interpretation which is stored. So if I click on patient archive, okay, oh, the other system is running, 1 minute. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yep, can you see this? Here you see, when you open the patient archive, you will get all the names for which you have generated the report. You click any name, right? You will know what type of report has been generated. Is it a bioval report? Is it an Ayurveda report? Is it a general report? What you have generated. Suppose I say Ayurveda report, I click on this. So the whole format of Ayurveda report is ready for me here. Now you see, please take into consideration the patient name. Okay, right, so we have the patient name there. All that I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my file and I say generate report. There you go, you have the reports. So when I say generate report, automatically you see the same name which was generated some time back, and the report is ready exactly the same way. So that's how we are going to work with this, right? So we are doing our level best to get the best out of it. So this is the patient report. So select some other name, some other patient. So I have this patient now. You can close this form and simply generate a report. It will also ask you to save if you want to save. So that's secondary. So there you go. You have the report generation and report saving, everything. The patient name changed. You have the report. So you will be able to retrieve. So retrieval is a very important factor which we have introduced in the beta version. It's still in beta and I'm programming it so that it can be made available for all the platform. And once it is ready, I will be releasing the update. That is going to be very, very useful. Now, before we get into the questions part of it, I want to show you something. What I've done is, since I have been working with GPT for a long period of time now, I have generated a support GPT. Okay, so we have a separate support GPT which has been generated. There you go, MGF Bible Interpretation Support GPT. You all can open this. I have already sent the emails and all other necessary requirements for this. Now this support GPT we have planned for a purpose. Whatever questions you have, you can simply ask this GPT, and pertaining to the software, of course, not the programming or front end or etc. It's pertaining to usage, right? And then it is going to help you either in starting the application or in between you have some doubts, it can clear it. It's always live 24/7. Say for example, you say how do I get my authorization code? For example, I ask how do I get my authorization code? Simply type in, enter, and it's going to reply according to that. Look at this, it says clearly open MGF Bible desktop app or web app, enter your name and mobile number, click submit. The software will display a device ID. Submit the device ID using authorization request form. The request form is attached. After submitting the device ID, you will receive the authorization code. Enter the authorization code into the software and activate it. So it also generates a small infographic for that purpose. Very, very clear instructions. Right? For example, you may ask, you may have some questions like, does it work on Mac? A simple question. So it will tell the operating system. Yes. So yes, MGF Bible Interpretation System supports Mac as well as Windows. The desktop application and browser application can be used on Mac systems. If you are installing on Mac, then what is the formality you have to do? So the entire details, but of course it will ask which Mac you are using, Intel Mac or Apple Silicon. So depending on, nowadays everybody uses Apple Silicon one. So in case if it is Mac, then you may request us for the app. Otherwise you can definitely go through with the browser. Okay. Ask anything you want. Simply, how do I purchase? Right. So you are interested with this, how do I purchase? So there you go. You have everything. Make the payment. Payment link is there. Complete the order confirmation form. Then you receive all the details. Download and install the application. Request for your device authorization code. You receive the authorization. So we have designed this GPT to help you. And every one of you ask questions, it will get updated. Automatically, it is going to get updated with the knowledge. And it is already having sufficient knowledge with it, so you all can make use of this. Any doubts you have, you can make use of this. I have already shared the link of this. I can also, I think, share it right now to you. So I have put it in the chat window, so you can make a copy of this and definitely you can use this. Right? And yes, if you are using a browser version, in browser version you will not have export PDF. It is not available in export PDF for browser. Simply you can right click and you can take the print. But if you're using app, it is definitely there. The export PDF button is compulsory. Otherwise, there is no way in which you can take the PDFs out. Okay, so this is the application, and this we have generated. It is working good. All the practitioners who have purchased are getting good reports. We are using it in our clinical practice every day, and we are generating very good reports for the patients. And the most important point, the symptom correlations, and also the understanding of Bioval, because initially we used to think Bioval is giving some readings without doing the reproducibility factors, etc. But now no, it is very, very important. Yes, few more questions I had received, that they are giving 3 scans, but they are not getting the values. Yes, see, very important. Most important point of using Bioval, how to use a Bioval, is with calibration. We have observed your scans. We had asked you to send, you have sent us. We have observed your scans. You know what you have done? You have done the calibration yesterday and you have done the scanning today. You got my point? So the scan date and the calibration date do not match. And if these two things do not match, if these two things are not matching, automatically there will be no report generated, because there is no value of that. There is no point. Calibration should be done very, very, it's a very important process. In fact, if you go through the manual and if you go through Dimitri's video in YouTube, you will know how important calibration is. It is the most important value which standardizes the device. So you don't get into all those technicalities, but at least you should do the calibration. If there is a date mismatch, remember, few people what they have done, they have sent me the scan and then afterwards they did this calibration. No point. Your calibration value is recorded in your scan. So you should do the calibration and then the scan. And those two things should be in the same day. If there is a day mismatch, the report will not be generated. You will not get the values, and no report can be generated, because clinically there is no value for that. Right? So calibration is very important. Please take care of your calibration. Yes, few more questions which I have received, saying that they had received some scans from someone, shared scans. So someone has taken the scanning, right, in their system, and they shared it to him, and he wanted to generate a report. No, it will not happen. The whole of this program is connected with your chip ID. So for now, you saw me, I have to select my JS file to get the details from my system. It is not possible to get the details of others from other systems. So it is connected with your chip ID. So always remember, this application is for the therapist to use it with his Bioval. So hope I have answered these questions very clearly, though I had answered them in the WhatsApp, but still. So this is the application, and this is a image which every one of you should be having with you. The background image, what you're seeing behind me, it's like a quick guide. It tells you what you're supposed to do. It's a simple quick guide. You can use that later, right? So now time has come to take up the questions. So you have any questions? Yes, you can please ask me. I will try to answer that. Yes, Dimitri asked how to access the archive link. It is not yet available. It's in the beta version. So we are going to just around 48 to 72 hours. It will be released. It will be available in the update. So simply you'll have to download the file or use the browser. Automatically it gets updated. You don't need to do anything, right? So the archive link, because it is in development stage, I just showed you. So it will be. I don't have export PDF button. Are you using an app or a browser? Yeah, in browser it is not there. Export PDF will not be there. You can right click your mouse, you can print it directly. You don't require export PDF button in browser. So that's the reason we have not put that export button. It's not required. It is in the website. You can get the app in the website. I can give you the details. It is gosaindia.com/biowell. So you can go extreme bottom, you have the downloads, you can get the app there. And one more important information regarding authorization. See, at this moment, you are not discouraged from using this particular system in multiple computers of yours. But you should understand authorization, how it works, right? Authorization is based on your name and phone number. At the beginning of the application, we ask for the name and the phone number. The reason for that is your device ID is generated from that. So I will show you, Dimitri, 1 minute. So always remember, whenever you are using on multiple systems, you should see to it that your name and phone number remains the same. Okay, so you come to gosaindia.com/biowell. So here you have, this is the screen what you are going to see all the way down. You can scroll down. Can you see that? You can just scroll down. You have all the details given, and there you have here the Mac Apple Silicon download, then Windows download. Intel, of course, we have not kept the app there. So what you can do is you can simply get into the browser version in Intel for now. But you have a Windows download and you have a Mac download. Got it? Hidden? No. I just showed you. I use a Chrome. So I just showed you in Chrome. So just try it out. It is not hidden. It is still, you just have to scroll down to see that. Okay. Any other doubts? Yeah, I'll take it into consideration, Dimitri. I will put this in the top of the page. I'll do that. Thank you for the suggestion. Yes, Stephanie, please.
Yes, can you help me to update my JS file only to remove the name of the business, phone number, and location because I work at two different places?
You have to just send me the details of that so that we can modify your JS file.
Okay.
Because it is right now embedded in the JS file. All your name, clinic name, and your complete address is embedded in it. So you send me the details.
Okay.
We will modify that. So hope you are able to take the reports now.
Yes, I am. I'm getting ready to do one soon. Thank you.
Excellent. Any other questions, please? So all of you might be having many more questions with you. Many more doubts may pop up while using. You have a GPT which is given for the purpose. Make use of it. Ask any questions you want. If it is not able to answer, no problem. It will get escalated to me. So I will try to maximum get the things clear. Okay, and in 48 to 72 hours you can expect an update wherein you will be able to save the reports as well, and that will be a real game changer for the interpretation project, right? So if there are no other questions, I want to give you something which is excuse me, there is something here. 1 minute, I am not able to read this. Now Dimitri, we have not locked the JS file with the system. It is in the JS file we have embedded the name and the clinic name, the therapy what they do, and their address. So it is for the user, it's not for the system. Okay, so finally I'd like to give you all one file which I just generated out of my requirement. It's just a HTML file for you all, which can give you more information. It's more or like a simple brochure or FAQ, you can say, frequently asked questions. Yes, you can use the same JS file in all your computers, no problem. But remember, it is going to always take your name, your clinic's name, your address in all the reports. So I have just given a HTML file in the chat. You can please download. It answers few questions, basic questions. You can go through that, and if anything is there, you can always get back to me. Thank you very much for joining, and any of this session is recorded, so obviously it will be available in YouTube for your further reviews. Thank you very much.